Hey, welcome to the Etch Play video with me, Adam Burt, and with the man himself, Dan Thomas. Dan, thanks for joining me.
Hello, thank you for having me.
That's quite all right. Today we're looking at Outer Wilds, one of the best games of the last few years. If you allow me to say that, am I allowed to have that opinion on the show?
I would definitely allow it. I completely agree. Absolutely brilliant game.
So today we're kind of celebrating, I guess, because we're launching a new series on our blog called What If, and it's where we take essentially games that we haven't done work for, but that we'd like to work for, and talk about hypothetically the things that we would do. And what you're looking at here is the ship log in the game, which is a really vital part of the Outer Wilds experience. It's where you keep track of all the clues that you get and all the kind of information that the game doles out to you as you work through the game, which is important for a variety of reasons we'll talk about shortly. And if you go to our blog today, what you'll find is our new series, What If, which starts with our idea of what if you could access this on your phone. So what if Outer Wilds extended to your mobile device? And you could browse these rumours, you could explore this information on a second screen, either in your own time or at the same time as you're playing the game. This game is critically acclaimed. It's BAFTA winning, and according to many, the best game of 2019. So if you've not played it before, you are missing out. I would also say that the joy of Outer Wilds is in the discovery. So if you haven't played it and you don't want to be spoiled, I would probably just avoid this video altogether. Thanks for watching, but maybe go play it first, then come back later. And yeah, let's get into some Outer Wilds, shall we?
Very cool. And I absolutely agree about the discovery and the when you first start playing the Outer Wilds. I think it's fair to say a lot of people will feel very lost and very confused, thinking you're not understanding, but you just kind of need to unearth what's going on and what you need to do.
Yeah. So I guess the core of the game is that you got this simulation. Really, it's a full physical simulation of a small solar system, complete with a sun and several planets, and all the planets have these kind of unique characteristics. They've all got their own kind of quirks or things you need to be aware of when you land on them. And I think we're going to go to a planet called Brittle Hollow, which is over here. And this is a planet which is basically collapsing. There's a volcanic moon. There's a black hole in the center you can fall into, which you definitely don't want to do. And I fall into hundreds of times. But yeah, this is where we're going. And there's a variety of planets in the game, all very interesting to explore. This is the one we're going to focus on for now. And I guess one of the overriding things, Dan, I don't know if you felt this as well when you play Outer Wilds, is like space is scary. Like so many things in space just want to kill you.
Yes, it is very scary, and it's also outside the boundaries of normal gravitational rules, and up isn't always up, and there's a lot to throw you off, isn't there?
Yeah. So you've got complete control over this sandbox. You've got your spaceship. You can fly to whichever planet you want to. You can explore them in your own order. And what you're really doing is uncovering, I guess, ruins of an ancient civilization and trying to solve a mystery. And the mystery is, and this is seriously your last warning if you've not played the game before and if you want to go in completely blind, turn off now. You keep dying every 22 minutes when the sun goes supernova. But you're stuck in a time loop, kind of a Groundhog Day style time loop, and you keep coming back to life, and you're trying to figure out what's going on, essentially. Do you like Brittle Hollow, Dan? Is this one of your favourite planets, or is it one of your least favourite planets?
I found it one of the most frustrating yet most satisfying. I seem to kind of having a lot of I see moments with regards to the story and the investigation that you're doing, but also a lot of oh no, because it's a brittle planet.
I mean, yeah, if I get through this video without falling into the black hole, it'll be a miracle. So you've got this kind of like structure here. So the solar system's not really inhabited much. Like your species starts on a planet called Timberhearth, and a few of them have explored some of the planets, so you do occasionally see another person. But by and large, these planets are uninhabited, apart from the ruins of the old world, I guess, which is one of the mysteries that you're trying to uncover. And I just think it's fascinating. Like you see it right now. Like the solar system's just there. It's all rendered. It's all behaving in the way that it physically should.
as an example, you mentioned about kind of your peers, that a few of which have travelled or explored this space. Just a little detail that I love about this solar system that is active and rotating around itself. If you can listen, you've got like a telescope that you can hear through, and
Yeah.
if you point it at a planet, you can hear each of these travelers. They play an instrument, and if you point it at them on the planet they're on, you can hear the music that they're playing. So it might be somebody playing the drums or somebody playing a guitar or whatever it is. And what's really satisfying is when they line up and they're all playing the same song.
Yeah.
Just little details like that I found really charming.
I think Outer Wilds is one of those games where anyone can appreciate it and enjoy it. You do have to have some fondness for figuring out the controls to a spaceship. But I think the more you know about games and game design, the more impressive it is. Like, you look at this, you're like, how did they pull this off? How did they build this thing? And just have it all work so seamlessly and in such a clever way. I think one of my favourite things about the game, and we've probably talked about this before at some point on the show or on the blog, is just how, like, you as a character, every 22-minute loop, you don't actually change. You don't level up. You don't get new weapons or abilities. You can't jump higher or further or faster. There's none of that kind of progression which you maybe find in a traditional video game. All of the progression is about knowledge. It's just about how much you know about the game world and how much you can explore and uncover and read in various bits of text that you find written down, and how you put those things together, which really enables you to kind of progress and get further each time, which I think is, I mean, it's not the only game to have done the kind of time loop mechanic, but it's an incredibly powerful feeling, to feel like you have everything from loop one. And if you only knew, if you knew what was happening from the start, the speedrunners, you can finish this game on the first loop. It's absolutely possible. Here's the what's it called? This I can't remember what this gun thing's called now. The listening tool thingy that you were talking about.
Yeah.
But rather than pointing it at people, I'm pointing it up here because we've got an identified signal nearby. Let's see if we can get up here and see what it is. So when you're outside the ship, first of all, if you're wearing your suit, if you're not wearing your suit, you will die. If you are wearing your suit, if you remember to put it on, then you have a little bit of a jump jet, and you also have air, which you need to kind of keep replenished. And you can see actually at the top there, I just got the air replenished because I stood near some trees, and it can kind of siphon off some oxygen when it finds plant life, which is useful. And you can find things like this, or you also find text on the walls, which is basically writings from that old civilization, the ones who came before you. And you can... So much of the story, I guess, is told through text. It's kind of these characters that you never meet because they've been dead for, I don't know, 100 years before you even got on the scene, maybe longer. But it gives you that kind of... If you're the sort of person who wants to go in depth, you can read everything that these characters have written in all sorts of places, and it does come together and paints a really nice tapestry of who these characters are and what they went through. Okay, so this is saying they went under the surface, which is where the black hole is, and they built some platforms down to a underground camp. So we might as well go for it. Oh, I'm pretty sure I'm going to fall into the black hole.
So this is a crashed spaceship from one of the previous explorers.
Yeah.
Species of...
Yeah, they're called the Nomai, and there's some more of their writing. We should go and read that.
And this is as you're reading and learning these things, this is what's being revealed on the log that we referenced at the start.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, the ship log keeps track of all the clues. So even though you die every 22 minutes, the ship log is what keeps track of your progress, essentially. It's what allows you to progress. It's like, hey, you went here and you read about this. Maybe there's more. Maybe there's something to that. Maybe you should read that again and think about it, and what that might mean if you were to extrapolate, what you've read and think about how that might apply to other planets, places, objects that you've seen. So in here is there it is. Oh, There we go. I immediately
Masterful control of your jetpack there.
immediately fall into a black hole.
So we've discovered an under-the-surface civilization and immediately jumped into a black hole, which has transported us across the solar system.
Yeah, so the good thing is when you fall into a black hole, it doesn't actually kill you straight away, although it definitely can kill you if you end up in the wrong place with not enough air or oxygen. But you end up dumped in this other part of the solar system, and there is, somewhere around here, there it is. There's a station here that was actually built by the previous species during their travels, and they were a bit more advanced than us, so they've built the tools to get out of the black hole, essentially, if you can find your way inside.
Yeah, you are without your ship now, aren't you? So if you don't make it onto this, you are just in the depths of space in a spacesuit.
Well, that's one of the things about the what if that we've launched today. Like the idea that your ship log is so important to you. It's essential to know what's going on sometimes, or to guide you, or to help plan where you're going to go next. And it's in your ship. That's like the clues in the name, ship log. But it's entirely possible that you get very separated from your ship. I mean, the ship can even be destroyed. It could fly into the sun, and you could be somewhere else, depending on what you end up doing. So at the minute, I'm quite far away. I think, I'm 19 kilometers away from it. Got to remember how this little bit works. What does it say here? Okay, I'm not the first person to fall through the black hole. Warp tower can take you back. Stand on the platform and wait until the tower aligns. So this is, I guess, relates to the kind of the physics simulation. Like the planets have to be aligned for you to warp between them using these kind of warp gates that you occasionally find. Let's move this ball. That'll be important. And there we go. So I've been warped back to the surface of Brittle Hollow. I think we're at the North Pole here. So pretty far from my ship. Remember the crust of this planet is disintegrating and falling into the black hole over time, so the ship's probably long gone.
As you said, it is entirely feasible to finish the game on your first kind of loop. Care to hazard a guess as to how many loops it took you to finish the game?
Oh, hundreds, I bet. I feel like I've not all. I didn't even make it to 22 minutes on a lot of them because I died a lot. I've flown into the sun, crashed into every planet at high velocity.
The ship is an art to flying the ship. I mean, it's satisfying when you figure it out, but it takes some getting used to. And even when you've become experienced, you can still get it very, very wrong.
Yeah, definitely. This is the PlayStation 4 version we're looking at here, just for your reference. Is available on other consoles as well, and on the PC, obviously. I'm not sure how it controls on the PC, actually. I mean, the controller felt okay to me. I did take some getting used to, but I wonder if the PC controls are a little bit more finessed, like they sometimes are in some games.
I think I played it with a controller. I think I played it on PC, but using a controller.
So the idea, I guess, behind the remote ship log tool, which is what we've written about on the blog today, and we encourage you to go check it out. We'll put the link underneath the video. Is what if your phone was a permanent link to that ship log? So your phone could act as a second screen and could tell you things live as you were encountering them. And that's, whether you're currently playing, you could see things happening. Like right now, we could tell what's the deal with this skeleton, maybe, if we had anything in there about that. Or if you're not playing, maybe you're on the bus or something, and you just want to think about it, you want to mull over some of the information that you've gleaned, maybe read some of the rumours, you'll be able to do that too. And yeah, we think it would be cool. Hopefully.
It would definitely be handy for elderly people such as myself, whose memory maybe isn't as good as it used to be. Quite often I'd check something in the ship log, be like, right, yeah, I'll go and do that. And then I'd go there, and I'd be like, what was it I was doing here?
Yeah, you need a ship log just for real life.
Just for day-to-day activities.
I was just reading some stuff here. There's a bit of the mystery here, which we will try not to necessarily fully spoil, but essentially the old race have worked out this warping mechanism of transporting you great distances. They've noticed that you actually arrive at your destination a few milliseconds before you leave your departure area, which does break the laws of physics. It does break the rules of time.
It gives us a glimpse into the power of video games, because why should we be constrained by such arbitrary rules?
Yeah. And we had to include this, so at the end of every 22-minute loop you get this audio, I guess, experience, this sensory overload of hearing this music, which is slowly starting to build now, which is kind of your warning sign that you're about to die.
It's a beautiful piece of music that instills so much anxiety because you know what's coming.
Definitely. So let's see if we can find a good place to watch the end of the world, shall we? Get some fuel.
It's got a generally really lovely soundtrack. I think it's available on Spotify if you just want to chill out to the nice music and not worry about the impending doom that comes with it in the game.
Yeah. I live in constant fear that I'm going to one day hear this music in real life.
The amount of times that this music was playing and like, I just need to go and do this one thing.
Oh, let's go behind the mountain. Let's see if we can get a better look.
Nice little space suit jump there.
Yeah. And there it is. Supernova. Inescapable. Or is it? What a game. What a great game this is.
It is very, very good. And I think it was the first game as well by the developers. It's like a graduate project. It started as, anyway.
Yeah. We're going to throw back to the studio. Thank you for watching. I've been Adam, he's been Dan, and we'll see you on a future Etch Play video. Goodbye.